A T-Rex's forearm was viciously torn off by its rival. Even though those tiny arms barely helped in combat, the excruciating pain instantly knocked him out of the fight. At this point, the battle's outcome was crystal clear. The victor would rule over this lush territory, while the battered loser could only lower his head and retreat in defeat. But he didn't let his disability break his spirit. Years later, he even managed to find a mate, and they were blessed with 2 playful little hatchlings. The young ones' mischievous nature kept them chasing and playing all day. Watching this vibrant scene unfold before them, the couple was basking in this rare moment of happiness. Sadly, this peace was about to be shattered. While the 2 youngsters were playing around, a passing ornithominid caught the hatchling's attention. They exchanged a glance and eagerly took off after it. As apex predators of the late Cretaceous, few hunters dared to challenge an adult T-Rex's dominance, so the couple didn't worry much about their youngsters wandering off briefly. But this turned out to be a deadly mistake. The 2 hatchlings ran farther and farther in their chase and quickly lost track of their target. Even worse, they'd gotten completely turned around. Just then, a pine cone accidentally tumbled down the slope. The naturally curious youngsters were instantly drawn to it and started fighting over this new toy. They had no idea that a pair of ruthless eyes had already locked onto them from behind. That's right, this was the very same T-Rex who'd torn off his arm and claimed victory years ago. The sudden roar and commotion erupting from deep in the forest alarmed the couple. A wave of dread washed over them, and they immediately bolted toward the source of the noise. Following the scent hanging in the air, they discovered a pool of blood in a nearby clearing. The female T-Rex sniffed the ground and let out a low growl. She confirmed a heartbreaking truth. This was their child's blood. The massive T-Rex footprints left at the scene, and that enemy's familiar scent filled them with instant dread. Having lost her child, the female raised her head and let out a piercing wail, utterly heartbroken. That night, lightning tore across the sky, and torrential rain poured down, as if nature itself was mourning the young life. The male T-Rex slowly approached, silently comforting his devastated mate with his presence. The next day, the rain cleared, but the female T-Rex who'd lost her hatchling was still deeply grieving. She couldn't pull herself out of the sorrow. Yet survival instincts eventually won out. They needed to eat. With her mate's constant calls and encouragement, she finally struggled to her feet and followed him into the forest to hunt. After searching for a while, a herd of Triceratops grazing came into view. If they wanted to successfully hunt these massive creatures, a head-on assault wouldn't be smart. They needed a perfect plan, and to wait for the right moment. Finally, one Triceratops strayed from the herd. Their chance had come. They moved into position, ready to ambush the Triceratops from both sides. Once both were in place, he signaled his mate to get ready. Facing an attack from 2 apex predators, the isolated Triceratops quickly exhausted itself and collapsed. This massive feast was enough to soothe their weary bodies and minds. However, while they were absorbed in their meal, a heavy, oppressive presence was closing in from the distance. He scanned the surroundings cautiously, but saw nothing unusual, so he went back to tearing at the meat. But he hadn't noticed the massive figure creeping closer from the shadows of the dense forest. This was the very nemesis who'd taken his forearm and their hatchling's life. His mate felt a chill run down her spine. She whipped around and locked eyes with a gaze filled with murderous intent. The pair instantly recognized their old enemy. All the rage they'd been holding back exploded in that moment. He roared and stepped forward to shield his mate. Today, old grudges and new ones would all be settled. But the years hadn't weakened their opponent's strength. The overwhelming force left this revenge-driven father completely powerless to fight back. Just as he was about to tear off the other forearm, the female finally snapped out of her shock. She roared and viciously clamped down on her enemy's hind leg. The powerful ram made the massive opponent lose balance, and he crashed down onto the Triceratops carcass below. The sharp horn instantly pierced through his throat. The nemesis died on the spot. The couple's long-awaited revenge was finally complete. Night fell, and the flames of vengeance seemed to have lifted some of the darkness. The relieved female nestled against her mate. A new resolve was taking shape. They needed a new life to carry on their legacy. The male T-Rex stayed close to his mate, and they immediately began their intimate night together.